Come on, XSplit, you can do it. You've done it before. Greetings and welcome to Die Dragon Die presents the Grimstone Chronicles Season 2, Episode 21. I am your DM and host Marty, joined by the full Ontario crew, whose mics are cold and now are warm. And all is right in the multiverse. Sort of, at least that's what you think. How is everyone doing tonight on this, hey Fox, on this fine Thursday evening?
Oh,
Good.
we are doing.
Very good.
It is 22, 23 degrees C here. It's like walking the dogs has become a sweaty endeavor.
Seriously, it got that warm over the last little while, or?
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
it's
really warm
even
over
in
here.
Sudbury, it was pretty warm today. Which is, of course, the day I get the forklift stuck in the gravel at work, so that's a fun, sweaty exercise.
Why were you forklifting gravel, Mark?
No, I was driving a forklift over gravel.
Oh,
and
okay.
they sent the outdoor forklift to the shop, which means I won't see it for 6 months. So I took the only one that was available, and sure enough, it got stuck.
So are you getting ribbed by your coworkers now about...
Yeah, because I had to announce on the radio, dude, can you come help me with the forklift?
Yeah.
What? You don't know how to drive? Funny.
That's probably right there. Adam,
That is-
what metaphorical forklifts did you get stuck in the gravel at work today?
No, I didn't metaphorically stick it. I found so my day at work was I found a forklift in the gravel, and it was about, okay, how did we get in the gravel, and what do we do to not get in the gravel next time? In a judgment-free zone of cooperation and collaboration.
Well, did he tell you? Well, maybe next time you get a rental to replace the outdoor forklift, you rent an outdoor forklift.
If that means next time you should outsource the work instead of do it internally, then yes, somebody did effectively say that.
Nice.
That was one of the proposals.
Interesting.
Ahmed, what's your forklift at work story today?
Well, so since it's been nice weather, I was like, hey, let's stick the kids out, give them the park, they can run around and shit. So they did. Hey, go ahead, kid. Hey, well, we play tag. You're it. Like, never catch me. Sure enough, big dad, big feet. I can run fast. Bam, 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 bam. 10 seconds later, my breathing gives out. Oh, I haven't done this in a year. Weigh a quarter my weight. They're kids. They're a quarter my age. They could do this forever. Dad, got you.
I've seen my brother.
That's where I'm at.
My brother's in his early 40s, and he just had a baby girl year 2 years ago. Okay, he doesn't watch this. It's okay. A little while ago.
Yeah, some kid somewhere.
But I have seen him kneel down to play with her, and her walk away because kids got squirrel brain, and she found something else interesting. She's like, no, I went down here. We're playing here. This is where we're playing.
Yeah, they're like, here, sit beside us. I'm like, I can barely fit in here. I can get down. I can't roll out.
Somebody will die when I get up. That's funny.
So yes, I am suffering from the age penalties.
Nice. Yeah, today was just another day. It was just another day. Was it a day? Yeah, it was just another day.
When's the first hockey game?
What do you mean? Hockey's still going. I watched like
No,
4 hockey games
Right.
last night.
You're going to the stadium.
When is the next October? Assuming everything's back to normal, the Seattle Kraken will start in October.
Right.
But there's still the current season going on right now.
Mhm,
So,
mhm. No, I was waiting for the stadium game.
let's not get ahead of ourselves. Okay. Why don't we do a recap what happened last game?
We killed everything.
Everything.
Everything. They all tried to kill us.
Not
But we
everything.
killed them back.
We killed the monster, the giant, and then we tried to teleport back, and fucking just assumed we were gonna get attacked again.
With General Tusk and his retinue defeated, the party turns to contend to the Guardians of the Nexus. Breno seeks to activate the Nexus's trap. The party contends with a rune giant at the vents. Agony, Cog, and Brenos attempt to rescue Slake. The party comes face to face with the Glimmer of Geode, a demigod, amethyst dragon, and oracle. Sunny and Barnabus agree to the dragon's terms. And then Barnabus communes with his new god.
That he didn't rob from on his first day. His first day at work, he did not rob from his new god.
You're supposed to case the joint first, dude.
You did take a prisoner, and I don't know if I have somewhere. I'm on the Overlook map. I don't know if I have.
I can't remember her name. She will henceforth be referred to as Armadillo.
I think it was Melissa or something along the line.
Miris of the Kai, I think. Give me a second.
Armadillo works just fine by
Armadillo.
me.
Armadillo.
It's the shadow armadillo of Overlook.
Shadow Armadillo.
And the name of the
Is
place
the
was.
armadillo shadowy?
No, it doesn't. Yeah.
She's a
I mean-
shadow caster, so maybe every once in a while there might be like shadowy tears or something.
Dusty fart comes out of them.
No, it's not a shadowy dusty fart. That's for
Yeah.
sure.
It's evil.
Okay, so the armadillo you were doing something with. So I think we folded time after defeating the rune giant and after waiting for Barnabas to finish communing with the amethyst dragon claimed to be demigod. The party then walked back up into the mountains, generally avoided confronting the silver dragon at the monastery, and then marched all the way back to Overlook itself. And I'm going to copy and paste the prisoner that you have in Overlook. You return to Overlook, and it looks like there is a general air of celebration as you learn that perhaps coinciding with your walk back to Overlook, news has also come from Bordrin's Watch, which is the fortress to the west, that the goblin horde has been broken, and the dwarves are victorious. The people of Overlook are victorious in the defense of Elsir Vale.
Oh, the dwarves were victorious.
I have a question.
Yes.
Right, the dwarves were fucking victorious.
Right.
Any question?
The dwarves were victorious, and immediately, Thogram, you are recognized as playing a contribution to the victory at Bordrin's Watch, because the bombard was fired for its first time in combat and did horrible things upon the goblin horde. Now, of course, you all know that you stopped a goblin army from coming up from behind and outflanking and actually reaching the walls of Overlook itself. How many goblin souls you sent to the afterlife, Brenos, will be a thing that you will wonder probably for the rest of your days.
Enough.
Question.
Probably
Yes.
too many.
How heavy is the giant's head?
How heavy is the giant's head? How heavy is a human head?
About 8 pounds, according to Jerry Maguire.
I was going to say,
Great.
I'm wondering because we did
So
this
about a
and we
tenth of
brought
your
this.
body weight? Is that what we're saying?
the average human head is 10 to 11 pounds. Why do I know the average human body weight and average weight of a human head? Don't think about it too hard.
The brain is very heavy.
Okay, so
So
a rune
it's-
giant head.
10% or less. 10 to 8%, something like that.
The rune giant head weighs 2,500 pounds.
Can we bring that back with us?
I'm already bringing a golem.
Slake,
Yeah.
I have an idea. Let's bring this head back with us.
Why?
Show them what we can do. Besides, would they actually believe us? Look at the size of this thing.
Why don't you just shrink it with your thingy?
No, that would work.
Shrink it. It's not magic anymore. Just shrink it.
Fair enough.
Put
Wait,
your
hold on.
Couldn't we just drag it back?
I don't think. I think it's too big for me to shrink.
Push drag for Slake at 30 strength is 8,000 pounds, so yeah, it's too big to drag. He's now 32, but I don't think that raises it that much. Yeah, alright, I'll cut off its head.
Cut off its head.
He takes out his masterwork adamantine great axe and over the course of, I don't know, 5-10 minutes, chops through the thing's neck and...
Dee, do dwarves eat giants?
No,
so.
they don't. Why would you think that?
Oh,
No, 20 cubic feet? No.
It's like...
It's big, way bigger than that.
I mean, you will get your deviant here and there who might, but as a general rule, no.
Sonny is confused as to why we're butchering a giant that has had its body partially boiled.
Yeah, you're also like there was also a significant amount of armor that you had to strip off the giant. There are some really big things that the giant's armor, which I think ended up in your to be rune crafted away. The giant's armor is 3,000 pounds and his plus 3 Tetsubo is 600 pounds. So I think the party has enough strength to do this, but...
Yeah, I think it's being dragged.
Okay. Alright, so that while you're waiting for Barnabus, the party constructs a, makeshift sled.
Probably out of the giant's armor.
Over one of the back plates of the armor. A plus 4 suit of armor is going to take a few more than a few bumps and scrapes to ruin. So yeah, you create a sled that many people can pull from the giant's armor, and then sitting on top of it is the tongue out dead expression of the giant rune, the rune giant.
Cog wants to make him smile.
Okay.
That's grim, Cog. Stop that.
Sorry, but he looks so upset.
He'll be upset when he comes back. I've no doubt his clan will realise he's dead. They've certainly got the resources to bring him back.
Yeah, with what? Magic. That's why we should quest to destroy all magic. You know, we can make it stop.
I understand the first premise, but the second seems not to...
Not many people agree with you there. I would just say the first part and stop right there.
All those who wish to quest to destroy magic, raise your hands.
Slake raises both hands.
So,
all those against.
No. Which magic? There's certain magics that need to be destroyed. Everybody here agrees that there's certain magic that needs to be destroyed. Sonny's like, I don't know.
Barnabus is like,
agrees.
you quite sure?
There's a type of magic that you want to destroy?
Aye.
What's that?
Horrible magics that hurt the dwarves.
I could technically be virtually any kind of magic.
Exactly.
Based on circumstance.
It's kind of like saying you want to destroy all axes, or just the ones that are used against dwarves.
Just the ones that are used against dwarves.
Not the same thing.
Yeah, it's kind of the same thing, actually.
No.
Magic makes weak people strong. It's just not natural.
Yeah, you're right. Look at you. And he takes a step behind someone.
It's a closer thing to say he wants to destroy crossbows, right? Because axes are okay, crossbows make weak people strong. You got a crank on there, it goes click, 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 and then you can punch through armor with it.
See, you got crossbows. Why do you need magic?
Because he's better.
Right, which makes you more of
Well, let me ask you. In that fight we had just a few minutes ago against many hobgoblins, would you prefer that Agony had used one of his very potent fireballs, or fired a crossbow?
I would have preferred we let them funnel through a smaller place so that we could take them out with our weapons and see the light go from their eyes.
Well, the next time you are welcome to get closer.
All right then.
You can still shoot your fireball.
Fireballs don't hurt. It's like, fuck magic. Damn it. These giants are magical, aren't they? This one was glowing all over the place.
Oh yeah, he is a rune giant.
So if we're gonna really think about this, magic saved you from being kibble for little dragonlings.
I don't remember any of that.
Alright. We valiantly carried you up our way through the caves. There we go.
Bell addicts.
Sonny's like,
yeah, that's fair. I would not like to go through life without magic.
I know you don't like it, but you cannot disagree with its effectiveness.
Yeah, I know you use magic on me, and I couldn't help it. I could tell. So for the next week, Slake doesn't have some of his Forsaker powers.
Okay.
you know,
I also think you healed him awake with a repair construct or something like that. Yeah,
Yep.
you gave him magic and saved him, and there was enough of it that. Well,
Don't worry, we'll find you something shiny to break.
yeah. Okay, he ends up pulling his stuff almost like it's a penance, rolling the giant armor and the giant head up the hill.
So, fancy pants.
I don't know why you keep calling me that. I got a fancy hat. There's nothing fancy about my pants.
They're pretty fancy.
What, pockets?
Well, they're all hemmed.
All right.
They're all long. Much pants.
Barnabus's pants are like, they were once pants, and now they're kind of like shredded bottom cargo shorts.
He won't let me repair them. He won't let me get close and repair them. I don't understand why. Maybe he likes the breed.
You had a chance to talk to both of our friends, and
So this conversation's happening on the journey back,
yes.
basically.
What are your thoughts on the Jeed or the Sejong
Well, Sejon,
situation?
it might be a problem. Geode certainly thinks he's a problem. Apparently, I suspect Geode has some plans for the dragons and whatnot, though he's standing amongst them. As a people I'm unsure of, he did say dragons shouldn't stay in hiding, at least for the time being.
Right. So, is the dragon?
Shades of grey.
And what about a giant?
Well, he is very fond of looking for. Well, actually, Agony, you might rather like him. He's very fond of gathering wealth, power, knowledge.
I found something on the Shadow Dragon that I wanted you to see.
What's that?
He goes over and he drops a like an amulet in your hand.
Okay, knowledge what?
Acknowledge religion.
Okay, I am.
Iron Man?
I will take a 20. And a 1d6, just in case. So, oh, 6, nice. And aid from Polly. Oh, wait, this one less than this. So 34, 38, 58, 64.
64. Well, to the untrained eye, this would just be a simple amulet with a hydra on it. To the trained eye, it's actually not a depiction of a hydra, but a depiction of a heresy within the dragon pantheon.
Oh, okay.
It is a depiction of Tiamat, but with different heads.
What? Okay. He examines it very closely.
It is. We're going to call it the. We need to come up with a good name for this. So the. Why I opened up 5 notepads.
False faces of Tiamat.
Oh, I don't know if they're false.
New faces of Tiamat. Tiamat the Snyder cut.
Oh, I'm looking forward. Yeah. Anyways, that looks amazing.
What is a good name for alternative or
Facet.
transposed or like exchanged?
Altered.
Mutated.
Morphic.
I like that one. The meld. Mold.
We're gonna call it the.
Involved.
Tiamat.
We're gonna call it the 5-headed surrogate heresy.
5-headed surrogate. All right.
You can't tell from the depiction, like it's a crude carving, but it's a holy symbol for Tiamat of a heretical cult.
Okie doke.
It's made from a really strange looking onyx.
Knowledge. Planes.
Planes.
I will take one of my many 20s for knowledge planes. With a, that's 38. So 68. No, sorry, 58. 58.
58. This is onyx from the shadow plane. Common in the volcanic activity of the shadow plane where it overlaps with Volcanica.
Okay. This was on who?
The Shadow Dragonborn.
This is it is a holy symbol to Tiamat, but as you can see, the heads is all wrong. It's a heretical thing, I would think. Comes from the shadow plane, not surprising given its owner.
Can I take a look at it?
Certainly, here you go. You're not going to break. He pulls it back. You're not going to break it, are you?
No, I'm not gonna break it.
All right.
Probably.
That probably comes after you have it in your hand.
Barnabus is gonna look at the thing.
Okay.
And he's gonna touch the sword. But he's gonna. You got anything to say about this?
And what are you doing with the sword in relation to the thing?
I'm gonna poke it. See if I piss the sword off.
You poke it, and there is a low and very loud draconic growl in your head.
Is this your enemy? Okay.
Yeah, that's not the growl of friendship. It's
not the happy growl.
It's the growl of like, huh? Wake up! And you put the poster of your hand in your face. It's like, yeah, it was.
So
it did not react well to that. And you had the you had the feeling of the sword thought it was vile. Like, not just a bad guy, like it's vile.
The worst guy.
I can tell you this thing is the antithesis to goodly. He's gonna goodly, noble. He's putting his hand on the pommel. Awesome dragons, and he'll hand it back. Like, yeah, it's dragon thing. Dragon thing.
Well, maybe some research in the library will yield some answers.
If you come across any books in the library that pertain to me uncle,
Who's your uncle again? Did you tell? Is this something Mark forgot, or is this something you actually?
This is something Mark forgot.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, I understand what he's saying.
So.
Oh, your uncle, right? Yeah.
Hey.
Yeah, your uncle.
Agony holds out his hand.
Oh, he'll give it back.
Okay.
He's like, that thing has got bad juju about it.
You don't say. He sticks it back into a pouch.
It's fine.
Yeah.
If he starts like praying to it, we'll have a conversation. We'll invoke one of the things.
Well, it's in the same pouch that he has the lead unholy symbol of the multi-headed dragon god that he got from battling the minions of Langdedrossa.
Yep.
How do these things compare?
So are you looking, Thogram? Like, he takes out a pouch, he undoes the pouch, and he sticks it in, and he's wrapping it back up.
Cog's looking.
Okay.
Barnabus has never seen the other one. So.
If he starts sacrificing innocents to the blood god, we're gonna have to have an intervention.
I thought we had
Okay.
another one of those before.
So there is a lead symbol on like a chain, but you could see the lead has been removed to reveal the symbol inside of it. Like the lead ball was hiding the unholy symbol. So you see like a little dragon-headed thing, or maybe there's two dragon heads. You're not sure. You only see part of it, but you do see that the lead of the unholy symbol was being used as a guard or a way to disguise the symbol.
Lead being a good
Otherwise, the lead kind of looked like an egg.
Also dragony.
Yep.
Hmm.
How they look different. They are, however, of little idols of multi-headed dragon things. So, I don't know. Do you have knowledge religion?
Cog does, but... Hey, Barnabas, have a look. Agony, if you wouldn't mind. They look somewhat similar. I mean, what's the chances
He looks over his shoulder and he seems annoyed, but he pulls them both out and holds them out for you to see.
No, sorry about that. Just, I remember we had one of those. Wondering, are they related? That'll be interesting, yeah?
Do they? I guess the two heads. Do they look the same, or?
The one that seems to be popping out. Give me a second. I have to look at Tiamat's picture.
Oh, god damn it.
I forget which dragon's on the end.
I thought it went red to white, but I could be wrong.
I thought red was in the middle. I could be wrong too. But...
Red is in the middle. Okay, so it looks like white and black are on the end. So you see a dragon with big horns that kind of curve down, and it's on the edge. And then the next dragon over looks like it's got some fins, and sort of it's slightly green and different stone.
Mm-hmm.
So Agony, it was hidden inside this egg thing. He hands this to Barnabas because Barnabas, he knows, is the grandmaster of knowledge.
Okay, knowledge, religion. I'm assuming.
Oh, and I did buy this poster for the D&D home. I've got a couple of posters, like particle on like actual
cool
poster. Yeah.
Yep.
I've got the Tiamat poster coming. I figured that was the closest thing to. Oh no, sorry. Is this one? Yeah, it's same one, but it's lengthwise. And then I've got the Dragon's Lair poster from the old video game.
Oh my god, yeah.
And the Dark Crystal poster, and these are all seminal moments in Marty's like fantasy being hooked into his brain as a child. So between those three things, it was a good kind of cross section of early fantasy for Marty. Yep. Cool. So you're looking at this thing.
Okay, knowledge, religion. I'm assuming.
Are you looking at the egg, or are you looking at the?
Well, is it magical? The egg? Tech magic.
Neither of these things are magical, but the egg is stylized.
Okay, knowledge.
Knowledge local, knowledge.
I can do knowledge local. LC Real.
There are enough of these things in Foundry that you could do knowledge local Foundry.
Okay, I will do knowledge local foundry.
When you're using a detect, can you like focus it to not pick up people accidentally?
2 4s. 46. I take 10.
The lead egg is of kobold design. Kobolds fashion a lot of their art into eggs because kobolds are actually hatched from eggs, as are many things that kobolds care about, including dragons. A kobold fashioned this to look like just some kobold jewelry,
but is
actually hiding within it a god that is on the restricted list in the Imperium.
So this looks like it was designed by kobolds in order to hide that it's a holy symbol to a restricted god or goddess. In this case,
Barnabas, you're like,
where did you get this?
A lot of kobolds have this egg art. And now you're starting to wonder, are the kobolds worshipping Tiamat under the Imperium's nose? And now you're starting to wonder how many of them are.
Yeah, that's nervous.
3.
At least 3.
At least 3. Yes, there's at least 3. Okay. All right. Are there many other kobolds, so to speak of, in like Overlook or?
You didn't see many there, although they're probably a small enclave of them somewhere.
In the shanty town, maybe.
You're guessing the guesstimates from the university is that there are probably 1 billion kobolds on Volcanica.
Oh, that's not good.
It is the job of the Asmodean Church to manage that population so that the Imperium doesn't go to war with the kobolds. This agreement bought a long time ago, now you're kind of just piecing some things together, the Asmodean, the ability for the Asmodean Church to operate almost with impunity and establish their imperial church headquarters on Volcanica. In fact, the headquarters of the Imperial Church is somewhere deep in the mountains in the middle of Kobold, like the Kobold lands.
Mm-hmm.
Far from here. It's on the other side of Volcanica, but maybe they're not doing a good job, or maybe kobolds are they're tricksy.
Yeah, well, this will bring it up with the authorities. I will give this back, but at some point I might need to borrow it.
Okay.
Hands it back to Agony.
Okay.
You could just replicate
Kobolds
this.
are hiding their worship of Tiamat.
I could just make a replica of it for you.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't-
tell me.
I didn't say
I
I was
recall a few kobolds in Foundry wearing these eggs. Any of you remember?
I thought it was a dragon egg.
Oh, really? It's a dragon egg, alright. It's the dragon inside is Tiamat.
Why has it got a bunch of heads?
Tiamat is the goddess of the chromatic dragons. The reds, the whites, greens.
Agony is
Black.
listening.
And he goes on about Tiamat until someone goes, alright, but the egg. So, yeah, right, so.
Hey, but she can't have all those heads because hydras have lots of heads. Dragons
No,
got one
no,
head, one
she
head,
can't have
one
all-
tail, 2 wings.
No, she has all the heads. She's the mother of chromatic dragons. She currently resides, at least as far as Mark knows, in Hell.
Yeah,
Right,
give
so
me a
if
knowledge
we-
planes about that, Mark, and
I-
and a knowledge history.
Knowledge planes is, I'll take 20 again because I've got so many. And that'll be 58. And the knowledge history, I will take 10. And that'll be a 45.
Okay. Tiamat resides on the second layer of Hell,
Second.
and she is bound there by some sort of agreement or spell or something placed upon her or enacted by Asmodeus, the Prince of Hell himself.
Cheeseburger in paradise.
This happened around the same time that true Imperials came to Volcanica and hunted dragons. That conflict ended approximately a Great Worm's Dragon age ago.
Okay.
And in the 1200 or so, give or take 300 years, since, the Imperium has, through successive conflicts, pacified enough of Volcanica to get what they want out of it, and the Asmodean Church has risen where there were once temples across the planet to the goddess Tiamat. This used to be her domain.
Right, so if you want to kill her, do you have to cut off all the heads or just one head?
Did I mention the part where she is a goddess?
Well, yeah, but you also said that she was bound.
You have a very good question. The other question is, how much treasure does she have?
She's a dragon. She's a dragon goddess. Shit ton of treasure.
It's good idea.
More than you can imagine.
Wait.
And what were they saying about God's names and 12 words or 7 words? Something like
7 words.
that? Probably we should not repeat that, eh?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Says Agony.
Agony, you had a question.
This egg was found by the caster lady, I think. In the sewers.
If we're following those, they also can see through their thingies. You might want to put the thingy away before you talk about her.
You know, the treasure we're following.
Oh, that. All right.
Well, that's what. Yeah.
Does this
They
have
have
something
this-
to do with that?
Probably. I mean, there was the big blue one, and all those kobolds. If kobolds do it, then probably a bunch of them are on the way. Seems reasonable.
But the dragon head exposed on this is a chromatic dragon, not one of these altered.
Mm-hmm. This is clearly like you could get rid of all of the lead if you wanted. If you want to look at the symbol.
No, he's gonna. The little he sees, does it look like what he knows the symbol of Tiamat looks like?
Yeah, the black dragon heads off the end. It has got the black dragon horns, and the next one over, I think, is the green dragon. So you see the green dragon frills. In fact, the stone that they made the green dragon head out of is actually a green jade, whereas the black dragon was like a not onyx. What's the other one? Obsidian.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so
No, a jet. It was made out of jet, and then a jade, and then you kind of see the one in the middle, and you think there's like a bloodstone for the red dragon head.
okay, so looks like a cult of Tiamat stole all this treasure. There's no problem stealing from them.
I have a question about organized religions.
Baby time, 1 sec.
All right.
When does one go from cult into not cult?
Mainstream acceptance.
Seems very arbitrary.
Rather is, yeah.
The
For
Imperial.
example, I am now part of a cult. However, should you call it that, I will get very offended.
I like magic.
Yeah, we'll hunt some dragons. So what? Dragons are magical creatures, right? He's looking at Agony.
Aye, dragons are magical creatures, and that one's got a bunch of heads.
Alright. Did I mention it's a goddess?
Right. We'll
Yeah.
hunt its minions. We'll hunt its minions, or its. Well, we're off to. Isn't half of the thing we're doing off to go chase down the dragony trail of treasure, whatever? Some pile of treasure somewhere.
Yeah, I suppose it is. You're the lot who knows this. I've never seen this treasure. I'm taking your word for it.
I've never seen the fucking treasure. It was raining. You showed up. You made fun of me for getting my ass kicked by a goblin.
You saw the ledger. We haven't showed Barnabus the ledger.
You seen the ledger?
I've not seen the ledger.
Did you not see the ledger?
I did not see the ledger. You said you was looking for treasure, then you eyed me like a criminal.
Well, you
but
are
said
a
he could be
criminal.
useful.
Oh, would you like to see the ledger, Barnabus?
Yes, I would very much like to see the ledger.
Okay, Barnabas spends most of his time reading through this coded ledger, correcting some of the places where the code was wrong. And yes, they're on some sort of treasure hunt with verified quantities of treasure and unknown quantities of magical treasure that they didn't bother identifying. Barnabas, you also pick up that this Langdadrossa, this LC person, was very interested in masks and orbs of magical nature. Even looked at the ones that weren't magical. His minions knew to give him masks and orbs.
We thought that meant artifacts.
It's possible. It's also possible his minions just don't know any better.
And then you find the place that says Castle in the Swamp, where they screwed up. Instead of just saying castle, they actually named it Castle in the Swamp.
In the swamp.
Yeah.
Well, now he wants to investigate the castle in the swamp again.
Well, of course, this is where we're going. We just
So
need-
in this ledger, is there any code or anything to identify where the treasure might be stored, or different locations? I don't know if they've got caches. Or...
Well, you see that
We
you
know
were
a
following, the trail that goes from.
it goes from the R is the leader of the operations. There's goods. It's being along the Iron Main train line to Denevar to a castle in the Swamp West. There's a BR, a DF along the route, and then you need to use a draconic symbol of greed to identify. And then there's we had the kobolds of the Kla were involved, but I think we're looking for a Karnath and a Bogluk, but I think we might have already done that.
All right.
No, you haven't found Karnath.
We haven't found Karnath or Bogluk? Okay, yeah, we're still looking for Karnath and Bogluk. We've been busy.
You suspected BR was Brindle.
Yes. Because
Okay.
DC
Yes.
in check, but you know.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then I think you pieced together that DF might be Drellin's Ferry.
Yeah.
There was like another dot further down from Brindle.
The next dot on the map. Yeah.
All right. Let's get all this back to the city. Identify everything. Get everything divvied. Sell it.
We get back in time for the war.
Yeah, looking forward to that. And then we'll come up with a plan. What we're gonna do next.
Say, what are we going to do next?
I'll be doing some divinations on some of the things we have found.
If we're wondering what we should do next, I personally think we should be going to the Thunder Tree area.
Yeah, the elves, right? That's cool. That's where you're from, right?
Yes, I
Oh,
think
it's
so.
gone.
Yes,
Sorry, shit.
yeah, it is.
Yes, I think so. Skog.
Right. Yeah, it's not far.
We could probably stop at Delve. The druids know someone who might be near this castle in the swamp. Alternately, we could determine whether or not that place is magically protected against divination magics. Do we have any reason why it might be?
Offhand, not that I can think of. Not much local or anything? Or...
Sorry, what was the question?
Any reason we should suspect that any of these places are protected from magical divination?
Elsevier Vale is very old and
The
has
magics
lots
are-
of magic.
There's lots of magics. Yes. Yeah. So would it find the path? The question is, would it find the path to get you there? And
Get you where?
well, I'm certain I could find my path along the way, which is probably how I'm going to do it. But instead of going like, well, I just want to find my path to the swamp. I don't want to find my path to the swamp. I want to get my powers for druids. So I need to stop with the dots. So, yeah. So I think the first place we should be going is Delve, because I would like to find Redrolf.
Yeah, we got some dwarves to kill in Delve.
Fair enough.
I stand
But
behind
you
that.
still got to get me permission to go kill some dwarves.
Yes, we will get that permission once we bring back this giant's head and make our report.
Right.
I'm sure of it.
We're
All right.
killing very specific dwarves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good. Glad that we agree. We agree very much. We triple agree. Yeah.
Is there any further interrogation that you do with Armadillo Lady? Armadillo?
She was just.
Armadillo.
I think she just got.
Oh, that's right. No, you re-polymorphed her, and she thinks she's an armadillo right now.
She's an armadillo now.
Okay, so
right?
you can't
Not much that you're gonna get from her.
unless you break enchantment.
I cast speak with animals with her once,
and she wants grubs or whatever that armadillos fucking eat. So
I get her grubs.
Yeah.
Where's my cookie?
All right. So yeah, there's no further interrogation. Armadillo. We're gonna say you passed by the monastery. You kind of did that quick check. You think the dragon fought the giant here, and then you return to Overlook. You return to Overlook to find a general sense of jubilation as the goblinoid hordes of the Red Hand have been demolished once again. This time, not at the gates of Overlook, but at the gates of Bordrin's Watch. As you are arriving to the city, or on your way back, Thogram, did you use your Rod of Sending at all to tell people about...
Tell them we're on the way back.
Tell
with,
who that you're on your way back.
Are we passing by the big cannon gates?
No, that is not on the path.
Other direction.
Yeah.
Okay, then communicate with our Lord. I know
Varric?
Yeah,
Lord de Barrack?
Varric. We're heading back. Estimated time. We should be arriving back in 4 days. Bringing a giant head with us. It's quite amusing to look at.
All right. He does have questions that you answer over the 4 or 5 days it takes you to walk back. Like, did you stop the army? Is the Nexus closed?
Yeah, that would be.
Are there any goblins?
Nexus closed. Army destroyed.
Okay.
Coming back in 4 days.
All right. When you reach the gates of Overlook, you have 2 familiar people waiting for you at the gates. I guess you'd have to approach from one of these ends. And there is a lad in armor standing beside a silver-haired Sildar that seemed to be just at the gates waiting for you guys to come back. There they are, sister.
Arrow.
He comes running up and then stops and gawks at the giant rotting head that you guys are.
Do you have what's it called? The spell
Gentle
Gentle
repose?
You have to tell Sonny to do it. He was like, oh, so
Shut if you don't mind.
Theron goes running back to Sildar's side because reincarnated Mister came running towards him to see who he was. And chased him back to Sildar.
Dinosaur.
Sildar's laughing a little bit when Mister's like wants to play with the boy because you guys don't play with Mister very much.
No, all the people who play went to war. To murder. Sorry, to fight bravely.
Right. We're at war. We're allowed to kill all the enemy. Just like you did. It's going to take a while for the Southern Warband to catch up to the tally that you guys had when Brenos activated the Nexus.
Oh, yeah, Brenos got kind of a...
Oh, and the non-combatants? Oh, the non-combatants?
The whole luggage train. The whole luggage train. The whole baggage train.
The little goblin drummer boys that all drowned.
Anyways, Sildar, hail. He steps forward and kind of pats Mister a little bit.
Greetings, Sildar. How are you?
There is a crowd of people kind of gawking around you, and they're stopping in the street as you're dragging this massive armor and this ridiculously large head.
I take it defense in the north went well.
Aye. Baldrin's watch held. Your bombard did its trick.
Excellent
I
news.
hear that it deafened many men and crushed entire legions of the goblins. You soon might be famous, is what he says. I have orders from our lord to deliver all of you directly to the commander, Bram Ironfell.
Very well.
For a debriefing?
Yeah, sure.
All right.
Hey,
Should we bring a trophy with us?
Yes. Most impressive. Did you slay that giant all yourselves?
Thogram's like to Sleek, like, I told you.
we slew it.
Cog's like pointing back at Amadeus. It's mostly him, really. I mean,
Okay.
Teamwork.
Thurin backs away from Amadeus. I think he was already frightened of Amadeus. The fact that you're saying Amadeus slew that thing makes it all more frightening. He's got the right instincts, Brenos. He's afraid of the aberration guy.
He's afraid of the people who you should be afraid of.
Right. All right, so they bring you into the city.
It was a harder test when he was a good aberration.
You have people pointing and clapping and cheering because while they might not know who you are yet, they do recognize martial prowess when they see it. There's a bunch of killers walking down the street dragging the 5,000 or the 2,500 pound head of a giant.
There's a golem and a giant head being dragged through the streets.
Okay, so there's a bit of a strut going on, and there are people that are like, yeah! They raise their pints to you, as some of them are at like outdoor taverns. Like, there's a general sense that victory means something to these people. A lot of hustle and bustle. You see soldiers coming to and fro, but there's a bit more of an ease and a joviality amongst the dwarves. You are brought immediately to the Imperial Ministry of War in the upper part of the city, and you're not greeted by the Elder. He's busy being old. You are greeted by a well-armored and cheerful-looking dwarf, and flanked by a war priest of the Five-Faced God. Entering the halls of the Ministry of War, it's definitely an imperial building, but with dwarven, like really tall dwarven statues. There is the symbol of or an alcove that is a shrine to the Undying Emperor that looks down upon everything in this rounded hall of marble and stone. Waiting for you is the commander. Some soldiers he dismisses, and Sildar approaches and salutes. Commander, Priest Hale, the League has returned. Bring them forward. I wish to see the whites of the eyes of these heroes of yours.
Who's saying this is the priest?
Nope. This is Commander Bram Ironfell. He's a dwarf in mithril breastplate. He's got many rings in his beard that you recognize as a version of rank insignias and like medals.
Sonny will go in with the with Armadillo with Armadillo under his arm, and he's like looking at a statue. He's kind of not paying attention.
Might I introduce Barnabus Darby, as well as the League, the Steel Rose Expeditionary League. Sildar takes a moment to get the name right. Commander looks you up and down. The priest of the Five-Faced God is like going over and looking at the giant. He looks like he's trying to figure out what the fuck the giant is.
Rune giant.
It's a rune giant. Yes.
Rune giants? That close? Was he associated with this force at all?
Yes, he was leading it.
Runikar. The Runikar clans think they won. They won some fight amongst the giants. And they've claimed all giant lands in all of Volcanica, and those that are beneath them. Ha! We dwarves might be beneath them in stature and in height, but not beneath them in civilization.
Halen is a dwarf worshiper of the five-faced god.
Nope, he's a human.
Okay.
He referred to himself as dwarves.
The commander speaking. Halen,
commander.
Okay.
The
Sorry.
Halen's just poking at the head. And,
Alright, sorry.
Oh, okay, got it.
Yeah,
Okay.
Yeah. Alright, look at him.
Right.
I hear that you successfully closed the Nexus.
We have, yes.
I
Killed untold
Thogram.
number of hob.
Thogram slaps Brandis on the back like, good job.
Ah, Thogram. You worked with our master cannoneer.
Yes, Commander Ironfell. Yes, I did. I was responsible for bringing the template for the siege engine shot. And we worked on putting it together.
These are for you then. You can receive them in ceremony later, but I figured you may want to twist them into your beard now.
Thank you, Commander. What is he? He's giving me like rank, I guess.
beard rings.
Yeah. So there are 2 beard rings that have little
Okay.
cannon insignias on them,
Okay.
and you are. Do you have any knowledge local?
Yeah. Just give me a sec. Knowledge.
Barnabus whispers to you what they
Engineering, siege weapons, planes, nature, geography, local. Yes, I do.
Okay, you can add 2 because you have synergy with your siege weapons.
23, 25.
25? Okay, so this is a... you are now a fellow of the Imperial Ministry of War.
Okay.
And
What the fuck does that mean?
you will be called upon as a specialist and as a like an advisor in times of war. Apparently your work on the bombard has given you some prestige.
I'm honored, Commander.
You
Yeah, we
also
can help
know
anytime.
that the dwarves do have magical ways of making beard rings into rings and giving yourself a beard slot for a magic item, like a magic item slot.
That's awesome.
These are not magical, but they do have little cannons on them. Like, they recognize that you are an artillerist, and you've now, I don't know, because you were the one running around trying to get everyone's attention that there was an army, and that you seem to be rewarded for that effort.
When the commander breaks eye contact, Brandos is going to punch Thogram in the arm slightly too hard.
Ah! Your commander's under attack!
Don't worry, once our priests do verify that the enemy is dead, you will all be receiving an award of sorts. Let us say in a 10-day, you will gather here in military dress or your finest threads and be recognized for the heroes that you are. While most of the people in the streets understand that everyone stood valiantly, including myself, at Bordrin's watch, the battling events in the Nexus must not have been, and he looks over at the giant head, must not have been kind. I hope that none of your fellows have fallen.
all ships hope.
None of the League fell, although the monastery is Not currently. Yeah.
Well, Sildar, congratulations to Lord Deverak. He's finally found an adventuring band that hasn't met their end.
So he's like looking over the corner.
Huh? Sildar nods, like he doesn't like the backhanded compliment, but he just nods.
Well, imagine how many times it's like, I'll take the contract, I'll send my adventurers on it, and they're dead. I guess I don't get the reward.
There was a group. They couldn't all be as successful as the one that you sponsor. You notice the commander smiles.
Oh, the ones we'll be rolling sometime in the near future in the woods.
Give me an int check, Barnabas, as you recall something now about the Ironfell clan.
Int check?
Yeah, just a raw int check. You weren't
Okay.
thinking and asking a question. It's just, do you remember something?
Do I remember? So I get to double.
I think you get to double your int check.
I do, yes. But when you roll a 5, you get a 21.
Yeah, but it allows you to succeed with the DC 20. Ironfell is one of the clans that has stake
In the mines.
in the mine that you're so interested in.
Okay. Yep.
Interesting that this one is not a lord of commerce or of the guilds, and he's actually a warlord of Overlook, and also has side pursuits. Or maybe as a commander, he sees it valuable to have also an adventuring company to do your dirty work while you're doing the military stuff. You're now eyeing a guy who's got good magic. He carries himself pretty well, and seems to maybe he might do well both on the battlefield and in these halls of power. You should watch out for this guy. Barnabas.
Okay.
Not that he means anything nefarious against you, like you're not picking up any vibe at this point, but this is a dwarf that is playing many hands at the same time.
Okay.
So bitch multiclassed.
I'm here along with Priest Halen of the Church of the Five-Faced God to receive your debrief. Is there anything about the enemy that we should know? And by we, I mean the Lords of Overlook and the Imperial Masters in Denovar.
Well, mostly Hob army. Ultimately, their leader was this rune giant. However, the forces themselves were led by General Tusk. He had several companions that native to the Clan of Shadow.
Interesting.
The goblins also have weapons.
He wasn't surprised by the mention of Shadow.
Okay. Goblins also have weapons with shadow property. Waiting.
Thogram pulls out like a handful of bullets. Like, they're very common amongst the troops.
Ah, yes. We had several goblin sharpshooters that tried to pick off commanders and officers with these bullets.
Yeah.
Whenever these bullets killed, shadows did rise.
Yeah, they do that. So, oh yeah, he looks at Halen. You might have other problems too, and he just shows him the symbol of Tiamat in lead. You got a lot of kobolds maybe in a shanty town.
We do have some. Yes, there are kobolds in Shantytown. Kobolds.
Yeah, well, see, we've got a shitload in Foundry, and they all have these. So they look like an egg. But under the egg is, as you can see, this is a symbol of Tiamat. If you pull away the rest of the lead there.
Tiamat is on the restricted list.
Yeah, no shit. That's probably why they hide it like that, I'm thinking. Do you think?
Thogram's like gives you like a nudge, like, You're pushing it now. Don't push it too hard.
He's holding on to it, and then he's now putting it into a pocket. And Agony kind of look like he looks annoyed.
Barnabus turns around. I'm sure you heard that. We'll get more.
Okay, Agony he's gritting his teeth. Yeah, the priest of Halen, the priest of the Five His God does take the symbol, and he will commandeers it as basically
heresy. It's a heresy.
Well, it's not heresy. It's on the restricted list. It's not on the banned list. It's on the restricted list.
Okay, all right.
Yes. Yeah. It's contraband, basically.
Yeah, I'm trying to...
Well, so he's like, is he going?
No, he walks off to the side, and you notice he's gone over to a book and is probably writing a report. And
so he's keeping the armadillo between him and the and the priest. He doesn't like.
Agony's not handing over the heretical one now. He's keeping the five-faced-headed god heresy amulet.
Barnabas isn't even suggesting that,
Okay.
seeing as he's in for taking stuff. So, are you familiar with the Umbral Forge?
Yes.
Yeah, so,
I have heard of the place. I have never been.
yeah, well, most having. It's on the plane of shadow, after all. However, Moldra, who was one of the, we'll call them adventurers, I suppose, that accompanied this General Tusk, was...
General Tusk?
Yeah.
Late General Tusk.
Oh, yeah, he's quite
Dead General Tusk.
You killed a Runicar giant and General Tusk.
Yeah, and all his friends.
Maybe this war is complete. It seems to put the commander in a good mood.
Yeah, well, we need to be looking for
Didn't
these
realize
weapons.
that General was the problem.
See, these dark weapons are coming from the Umbral Forge.
My understanding is that the bastards, and he says like a dwarven word where it's more like bastards, but like a group of people bastards. You know, like bastard race or
The Bastardi.
The bastardo.
My understanding that the bastards surrendered to the Imperium long ago. If they are selling weapons to the goblins, then I'm sure they're breaking some sort of treaty.
Yeah, apparently the smugglers you should be looking for are a dark stalker named Moldra and a half shadow dragon named Solshin.
Shadow dragons.
Yeah, terrible things, terrible things.
Yeah, there's a lot of dragons poking around.
The Umbra Forge is in the Shadow Plane, which has been described to me as a world underneath our world.
Is a simple way of putting it, yeah.
He looks at Barnabas, and he's now noticing that Barnabas is a man that perhaps he should be worried about, or concerned, or at least learn more about. There are all sorts of dark folk and Durgar and Darrow that live in the Umbra Forge. The Imperium has a embassy there. If that's the case, maybe we should contact them. He's kind of thinking out loud.
That is certainly your prerogative.
Is this place on the... Do you know where it is on a map compared to other places?
Shadow Plane is... It's close, relatively speaking. I think you could walk there if you're there in Overlook. It's the things that are on this world are not on that. He's describing second-hand, like third-hand knowledge at this point in time, Barnabus.
Yeah.
He's not sure, but he knows conceptually it's close. They're
going to plan a travel. You're going to plan a travel.
The Imperials do maintain a portal captured during a war a long time ago that allows them to go to the Umbra Forge.
Alright.
Forge Gate, I think they're called.
Forge Gate.
Apparently, yes, Forge Gate. If it is happening under the Imperium's nose, this Modra, this Darkstalker, where is he? Did you capture him?
No, we did not.
Well, there are small groups of Darkstalkers and other things that are spotted in Overlook from time to time. I can have the guard here in Overlook arrest any that are found. Put the squeeze on some of the Durgar that still dwell in Overlook. Maybe capture a few Darrow and hang them by their toes.
Well, Amadeus is like, I could help.
And Sonny's like, and this is why we don't give you to them.
He glances at Sonny but has no idea. He has no idea that that the thing crying shadowy tears is a 12th level sorceress of the Shadow Weave.
You can take us on a journey.
Excellent. Well, I will. It is good information. They must be getting here somehow. I understand some very powerful creatures of the Shadow Plane can simply walk between these worlds, but if they're bringing weapons back and forth, in the quantity that we saw at Bordrin's Watch, the Imperials moved that gate far from here. I don't believe it's in Elsia Vale.
They talked about a hole between the planes.
Oh, that's concerning.
Hey, if there's a hole to the Shadow Plane, then it wouldn't need no gate or a powerful caster to get things out.
Yes. If your lord isn't busy with their time, maybe they can hunt down this hole between the planes. From a strategic and tactical point of view, this would be useful information. I will bring it up with Lord Deverick, says Sildar.
Brennis is going to clasp Slake or whack Slake, like, and then you'll get to come, dude. Find the hole.
Fucking close the hole. Stick 1,000 pounds of concrete in it. Piss it and break it. Whatever. Planes.
No. Barnabas looks at Sonny. He's not going to like what a portal is and how we use it.
I don't know if a hole counts. And if we don't explain it to him, then...
I'm standing right here, numbnuts.
Oh, sorry. He switches to Orin.
Yes, this is much less rude also in Orin.
It was very rude of us to speak.
Sildar clears his throat as you guys are...
Oh.
Yeah.
So he goes back to, like, not looking at the...
In 10 days, it'll give you enough time to rest and recuperate from your wounds. You'll return here, and I, on behalf of the goodly citizens of Overlook itself and all the dwarvish clans, bestow upon you your just rewards.
Much appreciated.
To victory, gentlemen.
Yes, yes, to victory.
Victory.
Cheers.
And Barnabus is drinking from his flask.
Yep. Now, if you don't mind, we're all rather.
If we have further questions about what you have seen on your ventures to the Nexus in battling enemies of Overlook.
Yes, we are staying at what inn was it? I can't remember now.
Let's zoom out. It was called the Half-Axe Inn.
We've been staying at the Half-Axe Inn. If you need to speak with us.
Excellent.
Kind of close and like, I'm not telling them about the big fuck off dragons in there.
You notice that he's distracted for a moment as he goes and talks to the priest about why the priest is agitated by the symbol. Like they're now looking at the.
It seems like an important part of the story.
If you're that concerned, bring it up.
Sildar approaches and, well done. Devarak will obviously want to also as well. You will likely all receive a ring or something to place into your hair. He looks at Eamon, or a horn.
That'd be nice.
I see Cog like unthreading a nut and putting the ring on.
It's like,
putting the nut down again. Alright.
They're likely a campaign medal.
Oh, that'd be wonderful. Do remind his lordship about our agreement about our pass to Delph.
Yes. I would likely suggest.
Oh no, agreed. We will need time to rest and recuperate.
Can we just ask the guy now? He's right over there. He seems to be in charge.
It's wait.
It'll look better when we've got our shiny pants on.
Commander Ironfell is in charge of martial concerns. It is the elder that you have to speak to for judicial ones.
It's called political capital. We have just wait. We'll get it. Don't worry.
That's fine. The longer we wait, the more fucking evil dwarves I'm gonna kill.
Alright, don't quite see the math on that.
Sonny's over going, are they, well I guess it would be fornicating, are they breeding over there?
Well, yeah, I imagine there have been.
But dwarves breed incredibly slowly.
Might be one more baby, you don't know.
We can understand what you're saying. It's worth doing slow.
The commander just gives you a wave and walks off with the priest, like deeper into the halls. Thuron has already grown bored and is like practicing with his sword in the shadows of the edges of the building, kind of slaying
Alright,
giants.
Sildar, would you care to join me? I'm gonna go get shit-faced.
I have other duties to attend to. He glances to the boy, but you are free to do as you wish.
Alright then. Nice day.
He takes off a belt pouch and tosses it towards Barnabus. Please feast on the grace of our Lord.
Oh, well, you take him for his generosity. Thank you.
He gives you 100 gold pieces, but it's enough to have a really good meal
We
for
can
all of you.
feast on that.
Yep.
We're gonna hit the boy with the bull strength. Just to...
Ah! What did you do? Ah! Ah!
It's like the
Cog
plenty. strength acclaimed and flowing through your veins.
It's called cocaine, son.
It's called cocaine.
I can pick up a dwarf.
Okay, the sword said a word, said interesting. And you catch a vision of Thuron riding on a small silver dragon's back.
That's good. It's an agreeable vision. We're okay with this vision.
I am mighty, is what he says. and he's running around, and then he takes a step back from Eamon, who just grimaces at him.
Here we go. Okay.
Alright, let's go secure our things and then go celebrate.
Oh, look at you. Oh, I got rings in my beard. Oh, little cannons. Little symbols of being a gnome right there. Look
It's
out.
alright. Jealousy doesn't come you well, you know.
Oh, look at me. I make things go boom. I do things not dwarves ever do.
Would you like me to just make small ones for you? No?
Well, given that
Perhaps you should earn them, yes, maybe you should earn them.
Given that he fucking crippled the rune giant, I'm about done making fun of his cannons.
He did what to the who now? I wasn't there. I was still teleporting.
Oh yeah, shot.
I showed up and the train was dead. I didn't see none of that.
Oh yeah, Amadeus was grabbed him by the face and had him pulled down, right? And his ass end was sticking right up, and he fires a cannon right in the hip. Looks like it shattered the pelvis. Oh yeah, it was fucking beautiful, was what it was.
It was. Why did you have to give away my symbol? This is agony to Barnabas.
Oh, for fuck's sakes! It's worth fuck all.
Not to me, it wasn't.
We will get you another one.
What was it made out of?
Different. Well, no, it was lead, and then the different metal, the different semi-precious stones for the heads.
Do we know where Priest Halen stays?
Priest
I can
Halen?
probably fabricate it for you. Just need the little parts.
He's probably a priest in the Divine Knot. Like the Divine Knot, the neighborhood that you're from, has a temple of the Five-Faced God there in it.
Well,
This is one of the few cities where there isn't. I don't think there is a major temple to the Five-Faced God in a prominent location. Yeah, I'm looking at the Temple of Moradin was already there. Yeah, so there's a Temple of Five-Faced God for those that need that type of worship in the District of Nine Bells.
if you were to create a suitable replacement, we could just swap it for him.
That's fine. If we know what to look for. Lead eggs worn by kobolds, and we're gonna go and seize a treasure hoard.
Yeah.
We'll find another, and when we do, you'll replace it.
That's fine, Agony. You know who would appreciate your candor with what you like and what you want and what you wish to find? The almighty Geode.
Right, so
I'm not
How-
worshipping a purple dragon. That's what he says.
why on earth doesn't the big piss-off dragon get into the story? I'm confused about this. There's a giant piss-off dragon that we knew we were going to... We already told them about the dragon.
I
down
thought we
there.
were
Well-
supposed to hand over the armadillo as well. Does that mean I get to kick it?
No. It's cute. Look at it.
First of all, we did not
It's a sorceress turned into an armadillo. It's like a charisma 22
Wondering-
armadillo.
That's true. It's
Really?
like, oh, it's so cute. It belongs in a fucking Telus Mobile commercial or something
Exactly.
like that.
Big ass eyes.
Squee! Fuck. Yes, yeah, and like in the all white backgrounds, you can see his little legsies moving. And,
He just tried.
just tried so hard. Yeah, it's that. But it does cry shadowy tears.
Well, Brenos, the reason we didn't bring up the mad dragon is because to someone hearing the story or an outside observer, it might look like it was somehow our fault.
How was it? No. We told them before. I thought you said something about we were off to go slay Geode and take its horde.
Oh yeah, we're not doing that now, because that was before we knew Geode was a minor deity.
Alright, fair enough. I didn't know what I was telling you about the.
We could have taken it with Thogram's cannons and my fist.
Yeah, no, we couldn't have.
How much amethyst are we talking about? The big cave you went to?
Yeah, it makes no sense how much amethyst was in there.
Not very much then, or like.
No, like, if that entire castle was filled with amethyst,
Still more amethyst.
there was still more amethyst stuck outside. And I couldn't even see the whole thing, so.
Really, says Agony.
What are you thinking
Sign me
about
up.
purple dragons now?
Yeah, we come amethyst kings.
Yeah, well, here's the problem. When you flood the market with one type of product, it starts to lose its value.
Well, it's not a problem for a dragon. They just grab all that shite and sit on it.
Yeah, well, he's got other things in there as well, so.
Were we supposed to bring a shiny thing?
Yes, we were. However, that was before we knew there were souls, and I wasn't about to steal a soul from a god right under his nose.
Wait a sec, he had souls?
Yeah, well, he's a god. Minor one, but a great one.
It's like just shaking his head.
You know you look kind of sarcastic when you do that.
I've
Very
been
unbelievable.
sarcastic for the last 8 years of my life. It's hard to break certain habits.
So there's a bunch of souls in the cave.
Yes, worshippers, petitioners.
So the afterlife would to be a gem in a big cave? To be
No, there's a level of sentience within it. Seems they're reliving their greatest achievements while seeking that which they desire.
sounds very magical. I like magic.
Yeah, we should smash it and sell it.
Or not.
Now, I understand that this might be tricky, but I think that might be blaspheming towards his new deity.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he'd be displeased if I did that, yeah.
Wait, well,
So you
I
worship
didn't get a
you,
book, but I'm
worship-
pretty sure.
you worship the family, right? Like all the dwarven gods,
I worship the lot, yeah.
and they
Yeah,
didn't.
You
even
did
the
to be
uncle.
dwarf.
And they didn't come and do a tap dance in front of you before you worship them, right?
No. Not
Right.
before I worship them.
Oh, they came around after, didn't I?
What?
Nah.
Never
no.
mind.
Ah. All right. Yeah, fine. You can have your little demigod. Stupid dragon.
That's interesting. When worshipping something that you can touch is interesting, doesn't it take away some of the mystique or the grandioseness of the...
Yeah, you know what? I will say it was pretty fucking grandiose. Felt pretty grand.
So,
But yeah, the mistake thing, yeah, okay, fine.
will you try to beat your god at castles? And if you beat him at castles, does that make you the new god?
Or does he kill you and stick you in a gem in his horde?
Could be calling I, could be calling B, probably somewhere in between.
We could ask him, and Agony's not trying to take a peek under your hat.
Barnabus takes his hat and smacks him with it.
Wait. He showed you his. You should show him yours. It's only fair. I mean, his got taken away.
Alright, fine. So, what's that mean to you?
It's a purple gem in your forehead. Nothing.
There we go. Gotta get that coming up.
It kind of glows a little bit, though. It's probably worth something.
Yeah, it is my divine connection.
I think by that stone ye be wed.
And Tiamat's not my god. Give me a sense of motive.
I believe you about this much. All right. Although I don't know how good he is at lying these days.
I'm not leveled up yet, so plus this. 48.
He got 32 on his bluff.
45.
He doesn't know enough about Tiamat
But
to
it's
call her the
interesting.
god. Oh, but he's interested.
He's I am just evil interested. Yep.
Yep.
He's
So far,
on
what he's
Tinder.
learned is like, yeah, fuck Kozuth and the priests that were trying to do stuff to me. You know, like,
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
yeah.
Okay.
Oh, oh, interesting.
He's going up the path of greed. Maybe he'll go up the other chromatic dragon paths when he's done with those.
Whee!
Oh, next level, by the way, he goes into his dragon sleep and gets his second level, or his second and final level of his half dragon template.
Then we can send descending to Didi, going, the dragon, his wings grew.
Yeah.
Yay!
There's some good bonuses for that level, including the +4 strength, +3 con, +1 int, +1 charisma, and wings, immunity to fire, immune to sleep paralysis, and a bit of natural armor.
You've got practice spellcaster, or will you get practice spellcaster?
I don't know if that helps because it only does hit dice. You need hit dice.
We replaced hit dice with character level.
Oh, we did?
For like everything else.
He might do that because he would gain benefit. We also allowed it to split by 2 to affect 2 classes. So yeah, that might be interesting for his sorcerer and his mages.
Yeah, in fact, just like with intensify, it might be more impactful short term.
Yep.
I mean, intensify makes some of those spells real kick ass, but
Yeah, I was debating taking fireball in mages just to have extra fireballs.
fireball.
I decided tactical adaptation was a better spell when he leveled, or when he's about to level, because like a feat that you combat feat is also interesting as a buff.
Yep.
Okay, let's have a glance at the downtime sheet because I think you guys are itching for downtime, including paying off your leveling for level 10 and then actually getting a level 11.
So says the nerdy chumps. Basically, my characters both got to level. I don't know what you guys were doing.
Yeah,
Well, I
it
gotta
was
pay.
because the
We have to level?
travel and all that stuff.
exactly.
Yeah.
Now, here's my question: is Lord Tverak covering our training costs again?
Lord Deverak not only covers your training costs because he's so impressed with what you did with the Nexus and the prestige that he has gotten. He has found enough trainers, and for some of you, you needed several masters to come and visit you and teach you little tricks and things, that he has the trainers come to you.
Paying a bunch of 12th level at least dudes to come to you to train
Yep.
you.
And get me a coffee next time.
So, if you want coffee, and if that is a requisite, he is eager to keep the now legendary level adventuring party that he has in his employ happy.
Sonny goes to the Druid Grove to train. He doesn't, if they can train him.
Yeah. So because you're quick, you can travel very quickly. You could go there and train them. They still are.
You ride the Roadrunner.
They train you. They help you learn the spells, but they haven't. The agreement was for you to go and solve the issues at Thunder Tree.
He knows.
Yeah.
He knows. He's not. He knows.
Yep. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to highlight all the train to levels. We're going to consider that done. Like weeks start to pile by, and you've received trainers, and all the train to levels for both 10th level and 11th level are now paid.
Awesome.
Cog, it looks like, was retraining a feat.
Yeah.
Mobility is a common feat, and you are able to get trainers to do that. Although it's not a dwarf that comes and trains you, there's some spirited-looking humans, probably.
Cool.
All right, and then there's a bunch of stuff that was selling the small horde of magics and wealth that you captured from the monastery fight, as well as the battle in the Nexus. And I'm going to say that there's no issue with selling the goods here in Overlook. They've got a significant market. Now we get into, there's some face punch training, as long as you guys have paid for the face punch training. Hit points are important. I'm going to call those done as well. You can update your hit points if you haven't already.
I got to roll for the new hit points as well.
Oh, yeah.
Attaboy, bros.
It's Cog. 6. Yeah, boy.
All right, so the first D10 is going to be Amadeus. Second one is going to be Eamon. So 8 and 9, can't complain about that.
Cool.
And Barnabas gets a 3.
Oh, Sonny! Old man, don't die!
No. All right. We have some weeks where I'm gonna determine what happens later. So I think Slake is gonna do some crafting, but he'll do that later. I just haven't figured out what he's gonna do, so I'll figure that out at a different time. He's gonna spend 5 days, which for him is equivalent to 15 days because he can stay up 24/7 doing crafting stuff. He completed face punch training. Agony was interested in selling a lot of the loot because Thogram was doing some crafting for him. Cog, you've got a couple of extra days that are undefined if you want to fill those in while I'm doing
Face punch. Doing those.
Oh, were you doing those face punch training? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Which for you is more like hardening bolts and replacing missing bits, and like.
Do we get more points because we don't sleep?
You've got 24 hours to do your hit points, so
you can accelerate it by spending more money.
Yeah, you could do a hit point per day.
So 10 hit points. Yeah.
Subtract the money though. That's
3,300 is 3,000.
Okay. All right, I've got Thogram saying he's researching rune crafting. Is that something that Barnabus was doing for you, or was that something you're doing?
Barnabas was going to look it up
Okay.
Yeah.
for you.
All right. So you're crafting ioun stones.
That's right.
Could you describe what that means?
Yeah. So there are relatively cheap +1 AC bonus items, which are the smoky pink ioun stones, and they give you a +1 AC.
Dusty
They are
Rose.
Dusty Rose. Thank you. Dusty Rose ioun stones. Yeah.
Yeah, you found one of them in your treasures.
And we decided to use that as a. Wait, we found one. So who got that one?
You did.
Sweet. I'll get 2,500 back.
Sure.
Sweet.
So this was
and everyone
worn,
in the party got one.
I think this was worn by the Shadowcaster. I think when you turned her into a person, you took all of her gear and turned her back into
Back into an armadillo.
an armadillo. Yep.
Yep. During this time, there's also another thing that we're doing. He's hardening most of the party's items.
Okay. This is with the
Hardening.
hardening spell.
Hardening spell doesn't have any material component, and it's permanent. It increases the hardness of an item by 1 for every 2 levels. So every item that we have of relevance to the characters, it gets a +5 hardness.
Slake doesn't want you to touch any of his gear with
Slake,
magic.
except for Slake. Yes.
Everyone else, we're going to say it probably takes about 10 to 20 castings per person to get all of your magic
2 a
items.
day.
So over the course of the downtime, which is
It's going to be after our level, because that's when I got my spells. Be
got it.
10, 20, 35. Yeah, 30. I can get 35.
35 castings. So
10, 20,
by that time,
35,
2 PCs
70.
and all of their gear
80.
are
80.
Oh, 80. We'll
So-
say
because there's
pick 4 people, and you've hardened every piece of magic item and weapon that they have.
Probably yourself.
so
Step 1.
yeah.
Cannons.
Yeah. All right, so you have that decision, and then the ioun stones. Did you make them with any flair, or are you just creating purple rocks pink rocks that hover around your? I guess those have flair, but
Let's see. Put a little cannon on it. Yeah. Do we have an emblem for our league or anything like that? I don't think.
Well, it's the Steel Rose Expeditionary
Steel
League.
Rose. Yeah, as he knows that some of the guys have like a rose pin.
Yeah, so a pink rose coming out of a little cannon flying around your head.
Yes.
Okay, that's what the +1 AC items look like. Awesome.
It's good they turn invisible.
But those
these ones.
wizards who see invisibility.
Yep.
Yep.
And then you have
see a group of guys?
you have a bunch of craft. Are you just crafting things for yourself, or are you crafting for others?
No. What we did was we went through and crafted a whole bunch of things. So for myself, I got a permanent air bubble as a secondary item on my one of my head slots.
Nice.
Okay.
And I got gloves of arrow snaring. I was gonna make a preserving flask for a 3rd level circle, which is the named cannon shot. I was gonna make a bunch of those, but I took it out because party needed it. Cog got a monk's robes and the prism. Brennus got a 6k for added con for his battle belt, so you have a +4 con now. Is that it?
It's a +2 con.
+2 con. Yeah, there you go, buddy. Sunny got the gloves of arrow snaring. Barnabus got +2 armor bonus to Eamon's armor.
Mm.
Amadeus got a bunch of stuff. He got +3 hand wraps, and the brawling added to his bracers. And Agony got the Iron Stone. And that was it.
Ironstone and a really nice belt. You upgraded his
Oh,
belt.
yes, the belt.
He's got a belt of strength now.
+4.
Yep. On top of the +2 con. Spent a whack load of cash on that. Neat. So yeah, Thogram is the party's crafter and is put to work. Let's shift over to Sunny for a moment. Sunny, after helping sell a bunch of the goods, there's something called Shadow Magics and Find Doaki.
Shadow Magics is trying to figure out what the heck figure out the shadow items, what is shadowcraft, and just look at the magical properties of this stuff. And then I think it's also going to be finding a home for our shadow mage who can take care of our shadow armadillo. So yeah, it's trying to understand that which is shadow, which includes the shadow.
Which includes
armadillo.
shadow magic. Okay, give me a knowledge arcana.
Okay.
You can add, I don't know, 6 because you've got a bunch of magic items that you've put off to the side. To compare against.
32.
Okay, you know the properties of shadow magics. You know that shadow magic tends to be very more pernicious and hidden than regular magic. Like, it's harder to divine upon, especially if you're using regular magic.
Yep.
You know that without being a being from the shadow plane or certain races that using or attuned to shadow magic, which is like an actual feat, that using activated magic items can harm your own wisdom.
Ooh.
Permanent items aren't that. Like, you could wear the cloak of shadow magic or the bracers.
But if there was a shadow magic cloak of the Montebank, you'd be
yes,
like, my brain.
or a shadow wand or something like that. That this you would have to, trick it. You're unsure how your magic's going to interact with trying to fuse the broken blade back together.
So if we got a concept, well, no time like right now.
Yep.
Throw some.
So you've got the broken great sword that the mage's Shadowborn Dragonborn was using, that is of Shadowcraft, and you were going to use a spell to repair it.
Yes, and I have the ability to cast this spell 6 times.
Okay. The caster level of the blade is the highest power, which is Ghost Touch, which is 9th. So I don't know what your spell does.
Make Whole Greater.
Yep.
Is if you are greater than the spell, Make Whole Greater can fix destroyed magic items or technology in restores property if the item's caster level is at least, or if your caster level is at least equal to that of the item. So I am higher than the item.
All right, so you actually are able to cast a spell on the first casting and reknit the blade. It's loud. It's almost like there are two interacting types of magic that shouldn't be, like they're rubbing against each other. There's this like styrofoamy grinding noise that's coming from the magic, but you manage to, with a bunch of sparks and almost a strength damage to yourself. You reknit the sword, and you figure that shadow magic items are actually more difficult, and that their caster level might be increased slightly for this type of interaction with normal magic. But 9th add 2 is 11th, and you're an 11th level caster, so you're able to reknit the Ghost Touch sword, and I think it was called Shadow Doom. It is a +1 Ghost Touch greatsword.
Cool.
That you're pretty certain was used to kill lots of shadows.
Does anybody know where the corporeal undead would be? We can give it a poke to see if this works properly. I think it's fixed.
Barnabas almost says, Never mind.
What is it? Nothing.
Never mind, he's a friend.
Shadow magic, I don't know how Sunny feels about shadow magic. You know that it tends to favor necromancy, illusion, and enchantment as opposed to evocation.
He's a generalist.
Yeah.
It's not like he doesn't not like necromancy.
And then you also know that it is the stuff in between the weave. Like if you took a threaded cloth and looked at the spaces between the threads, that is the source of the shadow magic.
Right. So like he worships effectively the weave.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like it's almost like your anti-god, but he doesn't know. He's for him it's an interesting puzzle. He's not at the point yet where he's got a strong inkling that this is good or bad. It's
Sunny instinctively just, instead of shunning it, kind of knows that it's an interesting tool for specialized situations.
Nobody created magic without purpose. It's got to have a use.
You're lost in thought during a little bit of this time when you're not scribing spells into your own spellbook, which I think you're doing at the same time.
Oh, there's a bunch of spells.
You wonder what other tools there are out there. You know that weave magic and shadow magic are two of them, and that there may be others.
There was a mention of mind magic.
That would be a third. There might still be others, and now you're like, what are they?
Oh.
All right. Sunny also had on his list find Dowaki.
Yeah. Kind of like it says on the package. Trying to find Dowaki.
Okay.
See if he's all right with his sleeping.
So, are you
Get
doing
him
this
on?
via magical? Have you doing this via magical means, or are you?
We will. Well, we pointed out, like we said, like we pointed out, I helped him find a spot from the thing, so I'm gonna just go to where. Like, we're gonna go look for him around there.
Okay, I'm gonna inverse find Dowaki with craft ring. You did some time crafting your ring, and then you're like,
Sure.
I'm gonna go find the dragon. And I think we're gonna leave the find the dragon for something else.
Old man gonna get jumped.
All right, Barnabas. We have. Yeah, let me see. So Amadeus had some boring stuff, selling and face punching.
Yep.
That's fine. It looks like Eamon had selling and face punching. And then we've got Barnabas. Aha. To heighten the drama of what secrets are Barnabas going to demand of the DM. I'm going to do a quick bio break, and then I will be right back. Talk it over though. Like what are your divinations and that sort of thing? Yeah.
So in the you said Barnabas was like flush with cash, right?
Yeah.
So do you have 80 gold pieces to lend Sunny to finish his ring?
Yes. Fucking true. It's not good with money.
Damn, man. We just got a ton load of money. What the fuck?
Yeah, well, stuff happened, man. I'm just gonna put a big old zero on my treasure pile. I'm a druid. I live off the land. I don't need.
Barnabas is actually going to take it out of the slush fund. 80,
Yeah,
you said?
yeah, 80 out of the slush fund makes sense. So yeah, talk it over with what you're going to look into and research, and I'll be right back.
Face punch is